How many people got drunk thinking? He's drunk. Emtee's drunk. He didn't perform. He's fucking drunk. This is Kenosha. Marvin. He's drunk, this nigga. Look at him. He's drunk. This nigga's drunk. The police are escorting him to his car, fucking he's drunk. I wasted our money for nothing. This nigga's fucking drunk. He has a pussy ass.
Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess, cause I've been living wrong.
Hey yo, what's up, man? It's your boy T. Let's get out to the day. Mr. Flow so good. Mr. Keep up my watch. You guys already know, man. Back with you guys with another YouTube video. For those of y'all that are new to our channel and like what we do at Cisco DTV, please do make sure to click that red button and subscribe. Also clicking the bell next to that red button because it makes sure that YouTube will notify you every time we upload a video. Now, it was Durban July weekend this weekend, and I actually expected that today would actually be sitting down laughing at niggas who, got their girlfriends took by other niggas, or basically taken by blessings this past weekend. But instead, we're actually discussing a sadder and more serious matter. For those of you guys that don't know, like you saw at the beginning of this video, Emtee was apparently performing at an event this past weekend. Apparently it was at Lipalale, and he actually collapsed during the performance. Now, as you guys saw on the video, he actually started out with a slow motion performance, okay? He was actually performing behind the words on the song. At some point he actually stopped performing and wasn't even saying anything. At some point they actually poured water on him. I think somebody was actually trying to wake him up while he was on stage. And at some point during that performance, he actually, eventually just fell on the ground. And as you guys saw the second video, these are some very disturbing visuals because we actually saw police actually dragging him out of the venue. And as you guys saw, like, I don't know about you guys, but that you look like he was unresponsive. Now, but this is actually a sad situation because, like you guys already know, Emtee is my guy, one of my favorite artists in the industry, and more than anything else, a really cool dude in person. And it's actually sad to see that some of his vices have actually, come to actually catch up with him like this. And I heard a lot of people actually coming out and saying that, he was drunk during the performance, that's why he was falling and he was stammering. Now, us that follow hip-hop, know that it's most likely not that. And I'm not saying that it's not alcohol, okay, because anyone can pick up a habit anytime. But as far as what I know, Emtee does not drink alcohol, okay? He doesn't drink alcohol at all. Neither can it be weed, because we know that the side effects of weed don't include things like stammering and people falling on the ground. Maybe there's some paranoia, maybe they would have been screaming, maybe there would have been, a different type of effect, but the effects that we were seeing there were certainly not effects of actually smoking weed. So if you ask me what's my conclusion in the whole situation, and of course, I'm not 100%, but we know that Emtee is always carrying a cup full of the purple drink that people always talk about, which is lean. And if you ask me, the culprit in this situation must be lean. And it's actually a sad situation because we've seen the effects of lean, okay? Unless you're the type of person that just watches, local news and what happens in the local music industry, but if you've been watching international news and international hip-hop news, we've seen the effects of lean. We've seen how Lil Wayne over the years has been having nothing but seizures over and over again. I think at some point they actually said he almost died. I think Rick Ross also had a case, whereby, after, too much lean usage, he also collapsed and had, some seizures. We saw artists like Fredo Santana, who apparently might have even died from the lean use, okay? This is allegedly, okay? I can't actually come out and say that he died of it, but apparently he died of a seizure, and allegedly those seizures were actually caused by his long-term use of lean. So like these are things that we've been seeing happening internationally, and we've been seeing a lot of artists internationally being affected by the use of lean negatively. And this is actually the first time we actually start seeing those effects in South Africa. And I remember, I think a few months back, it wasn't too long ago, I actually posted a question on Twitter after Fredo Santana died. And I actually came out and I said, after we've been seeing what's been happening in the US as far as these artists that consume lean, and are just heavy consumers of lean, and they praise this type of lifestyle, after seeing these side effects that are actually happening to them, is it actually time to actually come out in Africa and tell our African artists that, yo man, it's time to stop with all this lean usage, because we can see the negative effects of it. Some of you guys came out and responded and said no, they don't use it to that extent and so on and so forth. But I think this is a wake-up call, not just for Emtee. I think it's a wake-up call for all the artists, not just in South Africa, but in Africa in general, to actually say that, you know what, when we take from American culture sometimes, maybe it's good to just take the good of it. Okay, trap music is a nice form of music, we enjoy the sound, we like what it is, and maybe you might even like, the culture of girls and all these other things, but let's leave some of the negative stuff that comes with some of these cultures, because I know that a lot of the artists that actually do these things, consume lean and so on and so forth, it's a culture thing for them. It's a thing of, this is what Lil Wayne does, this is what, the Migos, this is what your Lil Xans, all these artists that, are the leaders of, the whole trap movement, your Futures, Dirty Sprite. Like, these people are the people that are running around actually praising this type of, lifestyle, praising this type of, drinking, consuming lean and all these other things. And, the artists around the world that also follow this culture feel that they also need to actually follow some of these things. But I'm hoping that, he's well. I'm hoping that he gets better. If he does see this video, I know that he does watch this channel. All I want to say to him is actually, yo man, keep your head up. We're not bashing you, we're not fighting with you, we're not saying that, you're a bad person. But all we're saying is we actually care about you and we want you to last in this industry, and maybe the use of some of these substances, needs to stop. And sometimes a negative like this success, you know, is something that you can actually turn into a positive in the future, you know, and actually say, you know what, I'm one of the select few artists that actually went through this, and I can be an example to other artists to say, you guys don't have to actually go down this route. So shout out to you, man. You make dope music, you're a great artist, and you're a great human being. This doesn't change that. But you guys leave me your comments in the comment section, letting me know what you think about this situation. What do you guys think of Emtee actually collapsing on stage? Do you guys think that this is the time for African artists to actually also start drawing a line and actually start saying maybe the lean use isn't so cool anymore? And also, you guys should make sure that you actually go out and tweet your support to the guy. Don't tweet negative stuff, don't tweet jokes, don't tweet whatever. Just tweet, you know, some motivational stuff to him and his family. Leave me a comment, man, and definitely subscribe. Awesome.
Whatever you should drink it here, dissolve. Lemaka, that is not soda. Whatever.